Today's adventure picks up far to the east of the city of Path, my world spawn, with the new addition of the cartographer's house sitting on top of the cliffs. I want to transform the rest of this village to give the villagers some space to live, creating a new home for shepherd villagers while trying to collect every banner pattern in Minecraft, as I want to start using those to decorate more. We've got a lot of fun builds today for this village, so please click the like button to support my channel, and it's time to build. I'm really excited for this village build. I've got a lot of fun things in mind to also keep me coming back over to the village in the future. To get started, we need to dig out a harbor for some fishing boats to dock safely away from the waves. And I thought we could use the stone beach biome here that's already close to water level to help with that by carving out a cove within and a small opening that could be used to slip boats in and out. This is looking pretty good in here. It's man-made after all, so I'm okay with being a bit boxy, and we'll probably reinforce that back wall for like a storage building. But now we need to actually get the water inside of here. I used a lot of cobblestone, so we should probably extend it out a good amount here too. And for now, that's okay with me. Now for the slow process of filling in layer by layer. If we start from the bottom and just work up, it'll be the simplest. And it's all filling in now. Just one more layer to go and we're all done. That's definitely looking like enough space to throw a few small fishing boats in, but they probably need some docks first. With our new harbor filled in with water, we need to clear out some space to build a small dockyard. Our road is stretching down here along the front, right up against a retaining wall I want to build out of our tough bricks and to lighten it up, maybe mix in a little bit of our mossy cobble. Next up, let's grab some spruce slabs here and a ton of trapdoors. For simplicity's sake, it's going to be sitting at the slab layer, so it's all going to be spawn proof and we don't have to light it up. And so that people can walk out here to the bulwark, I'm just going to extend it across. Now let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then let's bring in our trapdoors right here, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over again to create some stalls for boats, and then we can extend these out as smaller walkways in between them. That seems like a fairly good distance to bring it out. This is looking pretty great down here now, and wow, look at that sun all the way up there. It's high fishing time, and I can't believe all of the boats are so far out beyond render distance into the sea looking for some fishy snacks to bring home. Man, hopefully they'll come back soon. So to make sure they can all safely dock and get their goods to the village, we need a covered workyard to finish off this little region. Gosh, those boats have been gone for more than a day. They've been gone all night. Oh, I hope they're okay. We do, however, have this setup here, which I like. I've left it fairly empty, as if there's not too many goods in it right now, seeing as we have a pretty small harbor here. To me, it doesn't make sense to fill this with a bunch of trade goods when only tiny boats can really slide in here. We do have a little wagon, which I love. And speaking of that, let's grab some more brown mushroom blocks, packed mud, coarse dirt, and the works, as I want to work this road that we just built all the way up to the existing network. It's not too terribly far away, so it just takes a quick minute to get here. Here at the little crossroads we have, I do want to extend the coarse dirt farther out to the edges if the carts need to cut the corner or anybody else's. It kind of makes sense to have it being a little bit messier on the edge. Looking much better, and we're going to be working up the hill towards the cartographer's house. And next, I'm thinking at the current end of the road right here, I want an actual storage room for when I'm working in this area. I am getting tired of traveling back and forth each time I need items, so we are definitely putting a nether portal in this build somewhere. 5 or 6 rockets to get over, and about 15 durability on the elytra. Haha, yeah, we're done with this. I'm making sure to grab everything I need for the storage building here from the lumber mill, and double checking to make sure that I actually have it all, as I don't want to do this trip any more times than I need to before we can make it quicker with our nether portal. But I am out of spruce wood, unfortunately, so I took a trip out to the nearby mega taiga and chopped a few big old trees down. Back home, and it's time to jump on down here into the stone storage room to grab a little obsidian, and that'll be everything I need, I hope. To get started, I want to use our dead coral and tough combo again that we've been using so far in the area. This time going for a little bit of the dead tube coral and our dead fire coral. And on the corners, we can mix in a little bit of stone brick to bring it up. and add to the foundation-y look. And here along the front, I want to create some archways that are going to turn out to be 2 blocks wide, as we can use our walls to help make it a little, they're like 1.5 block maybe, but I like them. To further out the idea, let's bring in a little bit of our oak along here and texture it with some of the strip spruce. And then at the top, to further the archway with another block thick, let's go ahead and do something like that. For a first floor, I like it. With our base foundation in, I am jumping up to the second floor using mainly oak with a little bit of birch mixed in to add some contrast to the build so it isn't just super flat. And it has a staircase leading up to the second floor for easy access. The roof, however, is gonna be a little flat, as I want to use jungle wood, podzol, brown concrete powder, and then into some dirt. Make sure this says silk touch on it. And also on top, I want to put some grass, dead bushes, and ferns where we can. Ended up with a little spruce in the roof up there too, and I like this. I think that's pretty fun, even though it's really flat. Now upstairs, I think is gonna be the perfect place to hide that nether portal. It is gonna make a ton of noise, but we can just hide it right here. I'm gonna just hide a whole little survival base up here, and we can light it up a bit further, right like there. We've got a bed, we've got an ender chest, a little desk, and the nether portal, and a place to smelt things if I need to. Now down underneath though, this is gonna be purely decorative storage. I'm really limited on what job blocks as I can use, as I don't want to put barrels everywhere, as then it'd just be full of fishermen villagers. So I think this is gonna work, and it's kind of extending out here with a little lift going to the top. Now let's come over here, grab the coordinates of this guy, light the portal, grab some more rockets, and fly back home again. Time to take a trip down into the nether, and we can fly east. I almost landed perfectly on it. I think it's gonna be 209.92. This is definitely gonna spawn hoglins because the farm's right there, but please tell me this links to the portal. Yes, yes, our little base. Oh boy. And it goes back, right? That, it does. Oh, that is so much quicker. Oh, it's gonna be so much better. I promise we will still horse around the overworld to be able to see everything on foot, but man, being able to do that if you forget a material or something, is so much better. Now to figure out how the road is gonna climb up this steep cliff. This is a silly little detail, but the way the nether portal lines up behind the trapdoor, I love that effect. I'm gonna figure out how to use that somewhere to magically build to avoid doing an interior, of course. But also, I just kind of had an idea over here that I ran with and designed this new tree. I think I really, really like how it sits next to the storage room. It is very different, with almost all of it being moss blocks and little tall grass on top of it. Then, of course, the azalea leaves are mud brick and the tough walls in order to give it an actual trunk. I know I said we wouldn't do too many trees in this area, but it was too perfect to not add in. Okay, now we can work on the road here. My goal for this village is to have one made road leading to the top and different buildings as we work our way up, like the village of one of the best of all time movies, Emperor's New Groove. Our chickens have been making a ton of eggs. Are we gonna get any more? We got one more little friend. They keep jumping on top of the hopper here and laying them inside and grabbing them. Ignore the extra bucket of water, but our pathway is now in, and I don't have any plans to make a giant relaxation palace on top, but I do think right down here with a pasture out back, I think a smaller shepherd's house could be really fun to add in. After a quick trip back home, I picked up a ton of materials to add to this new build, in sticking with the darker stones for the base. Then to play with the grays we've been using so far, I jumped over to whites using diorite birch and white concretes to the second floor and added a small pasture out back. I really like how this looks as we're walking up the road. It's a pretty simple build, but I like it. It's even got an interior setup here for some farmers. No, shepherds. Shepherds are in here. The shepherds can use these beds as they're living in the area, and we've got 4 looms down here, so they're actually going to congregate inside the house with a little kitchen space and a seating area, and I think it's pretty cool. Out back currently, I added in this trap door so they actually can't walk through there. And then we've got this small, not really a barn, but just a covered place for animals to get out of the rain. Back over here, I do want to go get a bunch of fences. I don't know how much spruce I've left. That's going to be a not too much. So let's, yeah, that's not enough dark oak fences either. Oh, 4. We have 4. Lovely. Let's take a quick trip over into the snow. Once we can build up this little pasture, I want to get a bunch of sheep to bring in so that our shepherds can have some animals to take care of while they're in the area. And then I want to go through and get all of the banner patterns so that we can have a place to actually make custom banners, because I don't really do that much inside this world, and I feel like it's something that I want to start involving more. Mods are slowly updating for 1.21, and I finally got Nvidium back, which allows me to have a crazy render distance. We're currently on 80 chunks, and it's so cool being able to see so much of the world again. Right, let's start with all of that's not that many. Start with all of those. The spot doesn't need to be absolutely massive, but I want to be something that's large enough to be believable. Oh, there's this little drop down over here. Let's go around that. Yeah, that's definitely enough pasture space. And Horsey, I need to get you out of here. Sorry, buddy. This is for the sheepies. All right, this will do for a little pond for them. I didn't bring any wheat, but I do have hay bales, so we can use this to lure a few of them in. And yes, here they are at the top of the hill. Come on, you two. All the way down here. Just walk right over and into the paddock for the rest of your lives. Yay! Slowly, I'll keep breeding up these sheep to fill out a new herd. With the new shepherd house in place, along with our storage buildings, I really like the small, simple village vibes we have so far. Our buildings do feel a little detached from each other, so I've been trying to think of ways that we could help with merging them together. And I keep coming back to the idea of having these large rocks throughout, as just kind of they built the houses in between the space that they could actually find to work with. So taking the opportunity to raise up some rocks here, and then we can I guess for now this can just be grass. It doesn't all have to be moss. I don't mind this grass color too much. And we just throw a few pieces of short grass on top of it, because that right there forces the building to, it's no longer able to sit down here, so the shepherd had to be raised higher up above. And then it'll kind of work with the wonky terrain that we're already trying to fill in around. Oh, I love village generation. Dang, that dude has taken some beatings. Don't jump, don't do it. I also definitely want to get rid of all of these path blocks so we can just turn them into farmland, and since there's no water nearby, it'll revert back to dirt, and then the grass will grow over the top of that. We'll probably put a building around the cleric up here, so that's okay for now. Okay, we got to do something real important because we don't have too many villagers left. They definitely keep wandering off to different towns. Not that me just being up at night is getting them killed or anything. They're definitely just moving elsewhere. Lots of construction, you know, not the greatest point to be in right now. So to help retain our population, I gotta plant a field. I've been thinking about what type of field to add out here to this new village. Something a farmer can work to keep the population alive, but also something that fits the theme. And I keep coming back to carrots. So that's what we're going with today. And now for my sellout segment. If you keep coming back to my channel, double check that you have clicked that subscribe button. If you enjoy my content, I really appreciate you subscribing and clicking the like button on my videos, as it helps tell YouTube people enjoy my content and they recommend it to more people. Imagine the growing carrot field as the number of subscribers growing on. No, that's a terrible reference. Moving on. We've got a carrot field where hopefully our farmer villagers up there will come down here and help keep our population alive. Be a shame to build all this for some villagers and then none to be living here. Before we move on to the other houses farther up the mountain, I want to stock up our shepherd villager's house. And there's a baby zombie underneath, ignoring that. But I want to get all of the banner patterns and some dyes to work with for all of our looms over here so that we can actually assemble some banners. I knew I had a few lying around in my starter base, so I took a trip back here to grab and craft as many as I had the materials for already. I still have 3 patterns left to find, 2 from the trial chambers, and the last I need a creeper skull to make. So I found a village a few thousand blocks away, and they had a cartographer, so I unlocked him enough to luckily get another trial chamber map. I wonder how far we have to go for the trial chamber. Oh, that dude, he sold me a map to those flowers over there. After the first pattern was pretty easy to find, I didn't get so lucky on the next stuff. As I scoured through the entire chamber, finding as many waves of mobs, trying to get new keys to open up even more vaults, I had a great time doing it, just the loot was not really in my favor. This is a really dumb advancement. This is a really dumb advancement. Yeah, but we got it. I've gotten nearly everything except the heavy core and that second banner pattern at this point. The first is from Ominous Vaults and the second is from regular vaults. After clearing a second trial chamber completely, I decided to drink an Ominous bottle to instantly trigger the Ominous trial and reset it all. And then I fought for my life trying to get more Ominous keys and regular keys for more chances at those last two items. Ah! Ah! Jeez! Dude, what the heck? It's the children, they're terrifying. Dude, they did so much damage. I haven't had to eat a golden apple in so long. Back home, safe and sound, and here is all the loot we have so far. All of these different banner patterns I've collected over there, and then we got both of the armor trims out of the trial chamber, and a trident and a channeling book. Unfortunately, still down one of the trial chamber patterns, but I spent nearly 2 hours clearing those out already. And on another fun note you might have noticed here, look what's not here. Sorry, let me pick this up. Now look what's not here. Shulker boxes. My whole front porch is clean. I spent like an hour cleaning shulker boxes too. Okay, I'm very happy I did it. But for now, let's take a quick trip down to the sheep farm as we need to be able to create banners in order to put all these patterns on them. So I'd like to grab 2 stacks of each type of wool if I can fit it in my boxes. Whoa, wait, what? You have wool? How do you have wool? Oh, I lost my glass. Oh, well that would... Oh, the shears broke. Wait, anybody else? No, everybody else is still going. I never had to replace those shears. That's the first time this entire series. Sorry, I built this thing on like day 100, maybe 200. And you just now broke? Bro, that's been like 7,000 days. Good job. Regardless, we have 2 stacks of every type of wool now. Quick stop over in the city at Color Storage, where I would like to grab a stack of every single type of dye that we have on hand. I think I am out of a few of them, so I'll just take what we can get for now. I think that's actually everything. At least enough to get us started. Let's go with all of our dyes in this chest here. Those should last me a good while. And the wools, so we can see what we have. We've got those on hand here too. And all of our banner patterns that we do have are gonna go here in the middle. In this flow one, oh, I need sticks. Wait, right, I always forget how you do this. Does this eat the thing? No, it's still there. That's perfect. That's very important to know. On that now, let's go light blue pattern, and I want to see what flow looks like. Wait, that's so cool looking. And then if we were to do cyan dye and maybe add like a gradient to it. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh, that's gonna be so fun to work with. That's a really cool design. I'm very excited to find that next one soon. For now though, I would like to keep building as well. The other one I need is I need a thunderstorm, and these skies are pretty blue right now. So if we get a thunderstorm while we're building, we'll change course and try to get a charge creeper. I'm making a quick trip back home to gather up some more building materials to start building the farmer's house. This led down into the mines for some more deep slate as my supplies are running pretty low and I still have a few more buildings to make today. Another round in the stone storage room, I pieced together a bunch of different variants of slabs and stairs and all of the different blocks and a few random goodies to decorate with along the way too. Then our usual trip into the lumber mill to gather everything for framing the build and making the interior itself. I am running out of campfires to use over the window frames, so I did jump down to the villager trading hall to buy some more from the fishermen for 1 emerald apiece. This right here should be enough stuff to get us started, and I've got a bunch of planks and wool here to make even more beds to give the villagers some places to live. Right next to our carrot field we planted, I'm thinking this is the perfect spot for a farmer, and I've already thrown in with some spruce planks a floor in here. As you can see, we're going with a 45-degree angle house. For the house itself, I was thinking we can work from our tuff into the brain coral and then our mossy cobblestone just for a little bit of an accent. Our door is going to be right in there, and we can use some of our scaffolding for some windows, and maybe above that, I feel like we don't need mossy cobble everywhere, so maybe that can be just a little bit of cobblestone. I've got the other walls in, and they're pretty bare along the back as we're just, you know, against the hillside, I was thinking for our main door, I have these leftover copper ones from raiding the trial chamber, so we can throw those in there. And then I was thinking back here, we can step this up a block and use a jungle door as the way out. As going with our little bit of the Manor Lords theme, where everything out here is going to also have a second purpose, I thought on the back of this, we could just throw in a forge. Now, I do want to cover this, so we're going to bring up a little bit of spruce along here, and it's going to have to be on that diagonal theme as well. So we'll figure out how this is going to work together. Maybe we go like bam, and then build some spruce logs on top of these guys. That kind of works a little bit for the angle. The roof is somewhat in place right now, and I've left an opening here in the middle. And then for this side, I started working a little bit on the second story of the main building, and it's going to be coming out another block just for a little bit of interest. So I kind of calculated that coming into here and just hard chopped it off. So the roof looks a little wonky, but if we can line ourselves up right off of here, I think we can bring a bit of a chimney down. And then we can build a small forge out of here. What maybe that guy can be down to here, and then at the base we can do some more of the chiseled ones, and maybe this right here turns into, I don't know what these are really called, but somewhere where like the molten alloy would come out. And then to villager proof it, we can probably just do something like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good for a small forge. With the work area done for our small smithy, I got to work building out the second story using our bone blocks and sandstone and mushroom blocks for the walls, and then a darker deep slate tile based roof. Running back down the hill really quickly, as I've been working on this open space in between, and I'm really trying to make the atmosphere as you're walking up the hill, as you're walking up our pathway into the village, into something really special. And I thought this open place, because it's not the flattest, so I didn't want to put anything too big here, so we just got a little patch of flowers, and then a fence to keep you in, a little lighting to keep our villagers a little safer, and then apparently one random berry bush. Let's bring it out to 3 right there. Inside, I did do the first floor, and it's looking pretty good. Just a lot of storage in here. I'm really struggling because I can't use barrels, because then everybody's going to be a fisherman, and I don't want that. Upstairs though, I'm leaving it open for now, as we can grab the planks and wool that I brought with me and craft a bunch of beds. This is just going to be a place where a few of our extra villagers are just going to be able to sleep up here. It's really hard to design fun interiors and make it into something that villagers are going to actually be able to live inside and have a full population, so we can just throw a few extra beds up there. I just logged in. There's so many zombies. What? No, not a cartographer. Oh, I don't think I could. No, he's very dead. Very, very dead. You're one I like. Okay, please. Yep, there's 2 alive. Oh, and he's running. There's something bad's over here. I accidentally let it get dark one time, and somehow you're stuck in the boat. Half the villagers die, and it's all bad. It's all bad. Everything's bad. I still have some leftover carrots, so hopefully these guys will take them, and then we can get a few more villagers in here, and maybe one will want to be a farmer. Regardless, here we have the Cleric's Chapel to rework next. But I don't like the idea of the Cleric in Minecraft working in a chapel. I always think of them more as a healer. So let's tear this down to start. We can keep the same idea of a stone building, but I want to attach the building over there, and then on this side, I want to do a greenhouse. Almost like the Cleric villagers are botanists who are tending to some plants that they can use to help cure and heal the villagers, as a bunch just were lost to the zombies. This should be a pretty good height right here, and we can get enough space inside it. And then I'm thinking for the walls, we just use our light gray glass so that we can still see through it pretty easily. Since we have the glass going into directly on the end there, I'm thinking here in the middle, just to make it a little bit easier and more supported, we add an extra slab on top of that. And then this side here, I'm thinking I'll just connect directly into the building. I made some glass panes too, because I want to try something new in here. If I just do the glass panes, it can help kind of move the blocks over a little bit more, so we almost get a vertical slab look with our panes. Yeah, I like that being a little bit pushed back. I think that looks pretty good. I got another cat. Where's all my fish? Please tell me I didn't take it back. I knew I made a mistake. When I was finally organizing everything, I got rid of all my fish. The cat's gone. I can't find it anywhere. Oh, that's so sad. I will have fish at the ready in here. For the building here, I've been really liking having these just lifted a single block up, and I'm thinking we could do a little bit of a doorway right there. Then for the building itself, I want to use light gray concrete powder, andesite, diorite, and a little calcite as a highlight. And I was thinking for a little fun on this build, we could also build in a few walls to make it look a little bit more older and like run down almost. And to go along with the Minecraft chapel windows, I thought we could just take the stained glass from there and work it back in. Then for a big entry doorway, because I don't really want to add a door itself on here. Let's do a little andesite down there. And just to cover this up a touch, we can kind of direct the walkway in using some acacia trapdoors. And now I just need to work this around the rest of our build, which I think will probably be about to here. That'd make it an even box. Working into the lighter colors, but then at the very top corners where we'll start the roof, let's bring in some darker ones to signify the overhang like we've been doing. Okay, it's giving face. It looks like a face. Which is like one small eye and one big eye. What if we really go with the crumbled down look on our walls and like extend them down here? I mean, I like it, but it doesn't get rid of the face. We're gonna leave that for now. I've got our other walls and the floor in place now. And then I was thinking for the ceiling that we have up here, I thought we could kind of make it a bit of a vaulted ceiling. This space right here, I am reserving for a chimney going all the way up. And I think we can just kind of make some loose circles coming all the way here into the middle. And then just fill this in with full blocks going across. Now for the fireplace itself, we can break away from this little 2x2 as that's where the chimney will go. And maybe we can do something with like sandstone to here and then just fill a campfire in like that. Before our villagers do villager things, let's block that off. From the inside, minus the hole, that looks pretty good. From the outside, I'm thinking that's a pretty good height for the chimney, especially with our roof sitting on top. Feels a little bit like a witch hat, and I thought it could be kind of fun. Let's see, is this a full block? It is. We can add a few grass blocks in here and grow some ferns on them. Yep, I think that'll do nicely. Now we don't have a whole ton of space inside, so I want to build a little bit of a retaining wall, but the problem is if we did just trapdoors, the villagers are never going to be able to walk through it. So we'll put the doors at the bottom, craft up 2 more beds, and dye them yellow because why not? A few more details thrown inside, and actually, I want to put these stoppers underneath here to hold that up a little bit better, but we got plants all over the place, including out here in the greenhouse, where I want to also put a few rose bushes there in the corner. And then I'm flooding this currently, and I want to put our lily pads on the top of that. And then right over here, I always love having the vines hanging down, and those shouldn't be able to grow anywhere. I don't think the villagers will walk out here at all, but I think it's a really cool little greenhouse. A lot of color inside of it, which I love. As the shulker mess grows, that means that next build is now done inside the village, so hopefully we get some clerics who will actually be working in here. On to the final building of the village, I want to add in a leather worker, mostly just for a little bit more variety in the space, and I'm thinking right up here could be perfect. Another slightly angled build here for this one, going for a 2.5-story building to give it some more space and stand out as being on the highest level of our village right next to the cartographer. I knew I was forgetting something here. I forgot to put my flowers in my flower pots. Regardless, this is looking pretty cool in here. On the inside, we can close the door behind us. Pretty open living space. We've got some cauldrons over here for the leather workers to use. And then I have a few beds just scattered around the space for more villagers to be able to call this place their home. And a nice little balcony out the back here just to give it a unique detail against everything else. Now to continue the leatherworking vibes, I've created these brown banners, which I thought could be pretty cool to just like hang up around the space as if they're hides ready for sale. But since we did build the shepherd down here, I was curious what it looks like if we add a little gradient of sorts to these, and I was thinking they're brown already, so that's not gonna work. What would gray look like? I feel like it's almost gonna give it a bit more of a hide look. Yeah, kind of. I know you can do the gradient and then add another gradient on top of it. So that's the plain, and that's the double gradient. I kind of like that it's a little bit more pale. And can you duplicate banners? Yes, you can. Perfect. Now we can just hang all of these up, and I added the chains on the top here so that we can place off of those, but then also place off down here off the trapdoors. And I don't want to forget to add any on the back because otherwise it looks a little weird. Yeah, oh, that's a fun little detail over there. Yeah, do you like it? Oh, okay, yeah, you can all walk away. He likes it, yeah, but you want to be a farmer. Yeah, your job's to make sure that the population increases here. Oh, both of you want to have that, right? Okay. Yep, get to work. Now I want to spend a little bit of time here getting rid of all of the weird, gross pathways they have around. I don't really know what I want to do with this space over here quite yet. For now, I'll just leave it as a space for the villagers to kind of gather and look out at the ocean. And oh, we still have that house down there. I think we just got to get rid of it. Cleanup work is now done, and this is looking so much better with the new village buildings in. We still have a good amount of work to do around here, like picking a name for this village, so leave your ideas in the comments down below. And I gotta help this guy out. Yeah, there you go, bud. They just look so sad with fresh animations. I have to do it. Outside of that, the other major things we have to fix up are things like this cliff face here. I want to add in a few more pockets of trees like this one in bunches of like 3 to 5 of them, removing these random light posts. And then I want to bone meal the area for some more lush grassy colors throughout. Let's start with our rocks here, as they're probably the oldest element we're going to be building. I really like how the village generated these almost natural shelves, so I decided to continue those all the way down here, and it's looking really fun. Now, if we grab ourselves a little bit of bone meal here, I gotta be careful on the moss, as I'm okay with it spreading. We're just gonna pick these up and leave the little carpets down, but I don't want it to override the rocks that we've been placing in, because the moss can override the deep slate. I don't know if I can do basalt too, but we're gonna be careful about it. I like the yellow flowers throughout here, so I'm gonna get rid of the other ones, and maybe we bring in a few little pockets of those, but I think having just the yellow ones is also gonna be cool. With the grass and everything added in, I got into working on adding a few more of the trees to build out a few patches where the forest is trying to grow in this climate, sticking them close together instead of being the typical evenly spread out bit. We've got 3 down here and 5 up here, but unfortunately I've run out of materials to be able to build more. I keep running out of spruce wood again. Also added in a few little birch leaves down here as bushes just for what I had randomly in a shulker box. Even though we just have the 2 patches, I do like this a lot for now. And the villagers are starting to grow the population, but I have run into one problem where I've had multiple baby villagers jump up to here, then get bugged out in the scaffolding, and then they grow into adulthood, and I'll let you finish the thought from there. But we're gonna try this one again here. Oh, okay. No, let's try this one. I know, for the safety of the village, don't compost those. I know you're thinking about it. Oh, his inventory's full. Okay, yeah. You're right. Oh, here, I got some carrots for you too, in case you find any friends. Ah, great. Now I've put it off for long enough, and I think we need to do something about, well, the lack of fishing boats down here in the harbor. So I want to add in 1, maybe 2 little guys in here, just probably simple designs that we'll see if we can make up, but I need more spruce again. I can't build a boat without spruce, don't be silly. So I built a boat. Well, actually, I built the same boat twice. And I didn't use much spruce at all. The entire base is dark oak and mangrove. I was thinking out here with all the icebergs and the cold and everything, it got me thinking of like Alaska, and then I was like crabbing. For some reason, I was like, yeah, they're definitely like more crabbing than fishing out here. Probably still lots of fishing, but I added on all of these note blocks as if they're like crab pots. And I'm realizing now I could use copper grates instead. Hold, please. I like those. I like those a lot more. Well, maybe mix them in so we can have both. And our extra note blocks can just go there. I gotta remember about all these new blocks in the game. I'm so excited, and then I'm like, these are so cool, and I'm like, oh, I kind of forgot they exist. I'm gonna leave the side ones mostly because I don't want to redo the rails. And well, there we have it. The village is now fully transformed. There's still a lot more that we could do here, but I purposely wanted to do something smaller and simpler instead of adding a ton of buildings. So I'm really happy with the result here. I hope you did enjoy today's episode. Please click that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. But with that, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. They have a new home. Look at them. They're so happy. You're happy, right? Yeah, they're happy. They're so happy. Okay, all right. I'll leave you be.